those of you who have made a suggestion that we provide closed captioning for the town halls, and I am very pleased to announce that our town hall recordings now will have closed captioning available. While the technology limits our ability to provide that live captioning during the event, we will have closed captioning available when posted as you might need it. So look for those postings. Now, to provide some project updates. As Chris Lowry shared in September, feedback from the organizational structure project and the development of the strategic plan brought our attention to the need to evaluate the program chair role. We decided to start with a voice of the customer review ahead of determining any recommendations on what that role might look like in the future. So I wanted to give you an update now on that project. Our plan was to interview 32 individuals, program chairs, department chairs, deans, vice chancellors, and faculty. As of November 15th, I'd like to share that all 32 interviews have been completed. The team is currently reviewing all of the concerns presented and working through recommendations to present to the provost, senior vice president of workforce alignment, and me. As we've been refining our strategic plan over the past few months, I have received questions from you about how diversity and inclusion fits in our strategic plan. Like you, I am strongly committed to ensuring Ivy Tech Community College welcomes all students to our campuses, supports our diverse student population, and encourages diversity and inclusion in staff and faculty. Ivy Tech is key for our state to eliminate the equity gap and to ensure all Hoosiers can enjoy prosperity, that they can use their unique gifts and talents fully and help communities celebrate our rich cultures, yet maintaining that warm Hoosier hospitality. I've asked Doran Moreland, Executive Director of State Diversity and Community Engagement, to join me today to give us an update. Welcome, Doran.
Thanks, Dr. Elswin, and thank you for the opportunity to provide an update on our priorities in the area of diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'm privileged to be supported by the statewide diversity committee you see listed. As I collaborate with each of you, I'm continually impressed with the efforts underway on your campuses, and I'm excited to build upon our best ideas to broaden our impacts across Indiana. Through input from students, staff, faculty, employers, lawmakers, and community stakeholders, we have established 3 pillars for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Number 1, minority and rural student success. An aim of our goal of providing 50,000 high-demand certificates, certifications, and degrees aligned with the needs of our workforce each year, Ivy Tech will work to dramatically increase retention and graduation of minority male and rural and under-resourced students statewide. Number 2, diverse talent attraction and retention. We will improve our ability to recruit and retain the best and brightest from around the world by targeting diverse applicant sources and by promoting Ivy Tech as a great place to work. Number 3, supplier diversity. We will establish Ivy Tech as a leader in wealth creation for Indiana's minority, women, and better-known businesses to deepen our connection to our communities and advance Indiana's economy. We have intentionally aligned the 3 pillars with 3 goals in the strategic plan. Goal 1, student success. Ensuring every student persists toward their educational objective. Goal 5, employee. Become known as a great place to work. And Goal 6, financial. Ensure the institution has sufficient financial resources to achieve our mission. Campus leaders and I recently completed a detailed Simplex creative problem-solving session focused on recruiting and retaining minority, rural, and at-risk student populations. Through this process, we've discovered many successful programs operating on a campus level. We also have identified new approaches we believe will lead to individualized supports and greater outcomes for our most challenged students. As a result, you can expect to see increased focus in 4 areas in the coming months. First, creation of mentoring programs for at-risk populations. Secondly, a wider reach of diversity, equity, and inclusion responsibilities throughout the college. Thirdly, partnerships with agencies and companies to recruit diverse candidates. And finally, annual symposia with nationally known thought leaders in the area of diversity, equity, and inclusion. We are at our best when we communicate and build upon our greatest ideas and push each other to evolve and adapt to challenges. This particular Simplex process demonstrated our ability to share ideas openly without fear of judgment or reprisal. It also revealed our potential to help more individuals to degree and certificate completion at a time when Indiana's employers need them most. As Indiana's community college system, we strive to build a culture where everyone is treated with respect and offered the opportunity to grow academically and build a career. Through constant improvement, we are making Indiana stronger together. Thank you for allowing me the time to share our diversity and equity inclusion plans with you.
Thank you, Dorn. I'm very encouraged by this work, and I hope you will be too. We can only thank that statewide diversity committee for the great work that they've done thus far, and I'm looking forward to expanding upon that work through the strategic plan. As we've discussed in previous town halls, our State Board of Trustees will be asked to approve the strategic plan at their December meeting. A key component of a successful strategic plan is establishing those challenging yet achievable metrics. As such, I'd like to take the next few moments to talk about how we're designing the metrics and what they will mean at the campus level. You could say what is measured gets managed. And designing metrics that make sense for Ivy Tech and measure our progress is an important part of the strategic planning process. A team of campus and system-wide staff met several times to develop the statewide and campus-level metrics. These metrics, which you can see overall, are comprehensive and will help us measure our success in key areas across the 5 years of our strategic plan. The statewide metrics are then broken down into campus-level metrics, which each of your chancellors and campus leadership teams have access to and are accountable for. In early December, the 5-year metrics will be finalized and shared. We will update you again in the December town hall meeting regarding those metrics. You know, every time I visit a campus, I'm inspired by the work our team's doing in support of our students. One program of particular importance is called Hope Squad. I've asked Heather Baker, Vice Chancellor of Student Success in Columbus, to share this program with you today. Welcome, Heather.
Thank you, Dr. Elsperman. The Columbus campus, in collaboration with IUPUC and as a result of a grant from our local community foundation, has implemented a new suicide prevention campaign by adopting the Hope Squad program. We are the first college in Indiana and the first community college in the nation to have this program. Hope Squads were developed by Dr. Greg Hudnall in Utah after he served as a building administrator in a school district and experienced multiple suicides of his middle school students. His community was continuing to experience suicide deaths and attempts, and he knew he had to do something. He developed the Hope Squad initiative, which is a peer-to-peer based program where student members are trained in recognizing risk and warning signs of their peers and report students to adult Hope Squad advisors. This is not a counseling program, but a program that attempts to do two things: connect students to immediate local resources and supports, and combat the negative stigma of mental health by getting students the right help at the right time to prevent suicide. It trains student members to utilize QPR methods, which means question, persuade, and refer. We show students how to have these conversations with their peers and how to appropriately report students if they are showing signs of suicide ideation. The adoption of the program in Columbus comes just in time. In the last year, our community has experienced 8 suicide deaths and over 250 suicide threats. Luckily, Indiana now has taken legislative action to incorporate suicide prevention programs in schools, and in October, Ivy Tech State Board of Trustees approved a resolution to develop a statewide suicide prevention and awareness campaign. We're proud to be forward-thinking in this initiative. Our goal is 0 deaths, but we also want to ensure that we are having the conversation among students, faculty, and staff to reduce the negative stigma surrounding mental health issues through the implementation of Hope Squads.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank
and
you.
The entire Columbus team for taking the lead on this very important issue.
Yeah, thank you.
I'd like to share with you 2 additional programs that are changing a bit as we go forward in the future. The first is called Ivy Honors. As many of you know, since 2013, several of our Ivy Tech campuses have offered an honors program through a partnership with Quad Learning. The program has usually been called American Honors. We are very grateful for the partnership that we've had with Quad Learning, but we're also excited to announce that starting on July 1, 2018, Ivy Tech will be managing our own honors college under the leadership of Beth Borst, who will continue to serve as Dean of Honors College and will coordinate the program across the system in addition to directly facilitating the Indianapolis program. Students will continue to have access to the 4-year transfer network that was developed by Quad Learning. For 2018 and 19, we will continue an honors college in Fort Wayne, Indianapolis, Lafayette, Lake County, and Valparaiso. We notified our current honors students of this transition in July of 2017. We are already recruiting new students for the fall semester of 2018. In addition, we are transitioning 3 current honors advisors from Quad Learning to Ivy Tech. They will continue to serve as advisors as well as recruiting new students and teaching the honor sections of IVYT courses. Stay tuned, though. We are actively investigating strategies to expand the honors curriculum to more students and more campuses. We currently have approximately 200 honors students at Ivy Tech, and we would like to see that be many more. Another program that some campuses have tested is being expanded as well. That is structured scheduling. While a few programs I have seen some success with structured scheduling, we wanted to start by finding out what our students preferred when it comes to scheduling their classes. So in 2016, nearly 5,000 students responded to a survey about their preferences in class schedules. 80% of students indicated they felt it would be very or extremely useful to have all of their classes for their degree program automatically laid out in a set schedule so they knew exactly what class to take when. 60% of students were interested in being able to schedule classes up to a year in advance. We also asked students to rank the drivers behind how they wanted to schedule those classes. Time and day were the most important drivers to students. A follow-up study showed that students preferred schedule layouts that had as many classes as possible on 1 or 2 days a week, minimizing the number of times they had to come to campus. One result from these surveys was to establish a structured scheduling project. This team kicked off its work in late 2016. The college's academic officers have determined that the term structured scheduling will be used at the college to describe what Complete College America defines as a reliable and consistent block schedule from the beginning of the degree to the end, making it easier for students to move through and complete on time, even as they balance work and school. And as you all know, that perfectly defines our students. The Indiana Commission for Higher Education refers to this same concept as block scheduling. Other institutions may call it such things as predictive scheduling and at some level guided pathways. Currently, program chairs from 13 programs across 5 campuses are meeting monthly to develop program plans to launch or expand structured schedules for their programs. These programs all embed stacked credentials allowing students to earn CTs, TCs, and an associate degree where available. Program chairs are using a mixture of 8 and 16-week classes as well as distance education courses when necessary. These 13 program chairs are collaborating to build a program planning guide, which will be available for all future chairs and campus academic staff who want to launch a structured scheduling project on their campus. Students in the program will be guaranteed that they can complete over a 2-year period for full-time attendance if they register for their specific structured scheduled courses each semester. It is critical to note that structured scheduling cannot be done in a one-size-fits-all model. Due to program variations, lab needs, etc., there will be significant variation from program to program, even within the same campus. Any chair who is interested in beginning this work should reach out to Ann Valentine or Kara Monroe in Systems Office in order to receive the current draft of the program planning guide and be linked to other chairs who are working on these structured scheduling projects. One important component to structured scheduling includes 8-week courses. The use of 8-week courses can also help students achieve greater success and see progress quicker. Ron Sloan, recently retired Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs, is finalizing a study of 8-week classes, both internally and benchmarking, that will inform Ivy Tech's course schedules. I've asked Ron to join us in our December town hall meeting, so we look forward to hearing his findings. On a different note, Ivy Tech won an award for the Advanced Automation and Robotics Technology Program. Our Fort Wayne campus has won the National Council of Workforce Educational Exemplar Credit Program of the Year. The award was presented to Bob Parker, Program Chair, and Daryl Kessler, Dean, Fort Wayne campus, during the NCEE National Conference in Salt Lake City, Utah. The program was chosen from national entries in the shifting landscape of workforce education track. Bob Parker and Daryl Kessler presented the program in a well-attended session during the conference. Congratulations, Bob, Daryl, Chancellor Mosier, and the entire Fort Wayne team. Now, to provide a quick update on the organizational structure project. Available in the employee dashboard of MyIvy under the Organizational Structure section, you will find our Hubs analysis checklists. Yes, it's Hubs, Hubs, Hubs. This is a way for you to see what step or steps a hub process has completed. Here is the Finance Hub, for example. You can see that we have now completed steps 1 through 9 and are currently in step 10, which is developing our future state. For each area going through the Hubs analysis process, you can see the corresponding step they are in and which steps have been completed. This resource will be updated on a regular basis and will show at the bottom the date that the document was updated. In closing, as we've now completed the 7th town hall, I have a bittersweet announcement. When I arrived last summer, Provost Steve Tincher offered to step down as he was planning his retirement. I successfully convinced him to stay a little longer to ensure our ongoing academic excellence at Ivy Tech and to help us chart our future course with the strategic plan. However, now his time with Ivy Tech does draw to a close, and he has chosen June 30th as his retirement date. Steve has done so much with his time at Ivy Tech. When I arrived, there was much concern about faculty responsibilities. He partnered with Chris Lowry in the stand-up of the workforce alignment structure. He led the new academic advising pilot and now implementation. He and Chris developed a streamlined program review process, and possibly his most significant act was that he launched Ivy Tech's first faculty council. There is so much more to say about Provost Tincher, but the simplest and most genuine thing to say is that we will miss him because he has left an indelible print on Ivy Tech's academics and the institution. Thank you, Steve. As a next step, we are working with HR to update the provost job description and expect it to be posted the first week of January, both internally, where we know we have a number of qualified candidates across the college, and externally in the Chronicle of Higher Education. More details to come as the final details are put in place for the interview process. However, I will say now that I will engage both the Campus Academic Officers Committee, the CAOC, and the Faculty Council in those interviews. I hope each of you will join me in the coming months to thank Steve for how much we appreciate his service to the college and that we wish him well in his retirement. Our family tradition includes all my daughters, our sons-in-laws, and most importantly, the grandkids for Thanksgiving. I hope that you and your families and friends will fully enjoy the holidays that are coming and that you will appreciate the blessings of your home, here at the college, and in the communities each of us call home. Happy Thanksgiving.